Sometimes the liturgy will have a hymn that has not been sung previously, so therefore we cannot find it here in the library. I'll just create one here. Let's look for hymn 223. So now nothing comes up here. Sometimes they give you some, and maybe 223 shows up somewhere in these documents, but you can clearly see that that's not the hymn that we're looking for. So in this case, we have to create a new document with a new hymn. Okay, and to do this, we are going to go to our desktop, and we're going to open this Christian Worship Hymns text file. Okay. And what this is it is literally a text file of all the hymns in the Christian worship hymnal. Okay, we're going to do a Command F, which is find, and we're going to look for 223. Okay, and we see here it pops up down here, hymn 223, as we begin another week. Now, as we look at it, we see that the hymn and all of the words are right here. Okay, and it stops here where it says the text and gives the details. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 hymns. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy all of the lyrics from here. We're going to copy that and put it into a Word document. So new document. Okay, and paste it into a Word document. Now we're going to kind of do a little formatting. We're going to take out any extra spaces. We do want the space between the verses just so that we have it there. We're going to keep it like this. Actually, typically when you do hymns, you want like 2 lines per slide. So I'm going to go ahead and return in between these to create a space between every two lines. Okay, and we'll show you what that looks like when it translates into ProPresenter. Okay, and that looks pretty good. We might have to modify it once we get it into ProPresenter, but it looks good for now. So we're going to do a file, save as. We're going to put it doesn't really matter, but we'll put it in the week that we're working with just in case we need to go back and modify it. And we can see that it automatically saves it as the first line in the hymn. We're going to just go back and format it a little better. Capitals in there. And this is hymn 223. So if it's a hymn, we start with hymn and the number. If it's a song, which we typically do for our contemporary songs, we start it with song and then just the title of the song. So in this case, it's hymn 223, and the name of the hymn is As We Begin Another Week. We're going to save it as a Word document in our weekly folder. Okay. Now we're going to go back into ProPresenter and we're going to import that file into ProPresenter. So we're going to do File, Import, and we're going to import the file. Okay, now it's going to take you to this box and say, where's the file? So go to Desktop, Sunday Services here, and here we see it is down there towards the bottom. Hymn 223, As We Begin Another Week. We click Import. When we do this, it's going to bring the import dialog box up, which is going to ask us some questions because it's going to ask us how exactly we want to import this. So we're going to, slides are delimited by, we can say line break. Okay. The size we want to make sure is 1920 by 1080. And the template, we're going to drop down this, and there's several, for lyrics, there's several different templates. We have some that have a black fill in the back, and you can either center it, have it in the lower section or the upper section. There's no fill, center, lower, upper, or there's gray fill, center, lower, upper. So you can just do whichever one you think is best. Typically, a lot of times we'll do this gray fill center. we'll just click on that to show you what it looks like. And we're going to click import. Okay, now you see over in the library it's imported, and it's got the exact same naming convention that we had when we saved it as the Word file. It saves it as the exact same thing. But don't forget, you want to bring it into your playlist. Okay, and so now it's in our playlist and it looks like this. Okay, and I think that there should be more on each line, and you can see here there's some formatting we're going to have to do because typically you don't have one word on a line. Okay, so we're going to have to modify this a little bit. So you click there and we're going to go to Reflow editor. Okay, and now Reflow, this shows us every time there's a break. Okay, it shows us where that break is. We're going to get rid of some of these breaks. Okay, so all you do is click where you want it, and you can actually just hit delete, and it deleted that break, and now you see that there's technically the 2 lines. We're going to have to modify that a little bit because there's still one word on that, but you get the idea. So we're going to basically try and put 2 lines in each section. So just go there, hit delete, and it deletes that space. Okay, and brings it up to the next. Let's see. All right, now we're at the end of the song. This space down here is not necessary, so we just get rid of that completely. So now, at least it's got the right number of lines on each side. You can see it over here, but you can still see, it's really hard to see, but you can still kind of get the sense that there's a little bit more tweaking that needs to be done. So you're going to get out of Reflow editor, and now you're back in the main screen. Okay, see, it doesn't look quite right yet. So you're going to select it, and now you're going to go to editor. Remember, editor allows you to make changes. Okay, so now that you're in editor, you're going to click on this. We don't want that seek all by itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch this a little bit. Okay, and just remember, if you're stretching it on one side, you're going to stretch it on both sides to make it even. And now it comes into the same row. So now you're good. This one, it's going to be hard for you to get 7 days up on the line before, so you can just kind of leave that. This one, you can probably get that outpour onto the next line, so we're just going to stretch this out a little bit. Okay, it's still there, but you're getting closer. So typically what I'll do is I'll highlight that area, and right here, this is the spacing between letters. Okay, typically it's set to 0 if we're trying to get something on another line. Okay, you don't want to go more than -2, but at least you can see that looks a lot better if it's all on one line as opposed to 2. Okay, kind of do the same thing here. Let's see, you can stretch a little bit. Okay, that doesn't work. Now you can go down. There you go, -2, got it, so you're good. Okay, this one looks like you should just be able to bring it down. -2 did it. There you go, we got one more down here, this one. This one, your son, we're probably not going to be able to get on the line before, so we'll leave it there, but I bet you can get thrown, maybe. We'll see about that one. So these you just kind of play around a little bit with to see what makes the most sense. So pull it out there, that's not helping. Let's select this. -2, you're not going to go beyond -2, so that's not going to so now what I'm just going to do is I'm going to move all of that down. Okay, it's kind of a natural breaking point in where the song is, and then you're good. Okay, Now formatting, it all looks pretty good. This one, what I might do is go into Reflow and then put that on another line. Okay, now it just kind of looks like the other slides, for whatever that's worth. And then what I'll do is I'll go into another hymn. I'll copy the title slide. And then I'll go into this one and I will paste the title slide. For some reason it usually comes after the second one, so I just move it. You can click it and drag it to the front. Okay, if this is the opening hymn, that's great. But obviously we need to modify it because this one, title of this song is called As We Begin Another, about to say day, week. Okay, it's hymn number 223, and this one we're all singing all of it, so I'm just going to get rid of that. So you just make sure that the details match the song that you have. Now you can come down here in the purchase section of video and images. You can put any background you want behind it. You like this one? You can put that there, and you can see, you click out of editor, what that looks like. That one looks pretty good. If you want to try a different one, you can just scroll and try a different one. Let's try this one. You just keep overlaying it. Okay, and then that becomes, okay, look at the other ones, see how they look. Okay, maybe say, I want to try one more. How about this one? There we go. That's the one. That looks good. You're good to go. Okay, now you've created your new hymn. Okay, now this will always be stored here in the library, so you only have to recreate them once. You may modify them if it's, song of praise or song response or hymn of the day. You can make those tweaks, but the hymn itself you won't have to create again now that it's been created once.